Welcome, welcome, welcome to Community Roundtable. I am. They call me Ferdinand, the bringer of balance, leader of many disciplines, and your host of Community Roundtable. So today, in episode 17, we got a special treat for you. We're going to take a journey into Cliff Green's life, an amazing author out of Pittsburgh. Let's bring him to the stage. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm good. How you feeling?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Super proud of you, man. Hey,
Appreciate
so
it.
just so everybody knows before I give him the floor, Cliff and I we met 2008 maybe at Point Park University in Pittsburgh. All right, so we were both students there, and we've developed a great friendship since coming out of the university. And Cliff has really taken his journey to a whole nother level with his health, with the way he cares for himself, with his investments, his educational journey, and his journey of authorship. Tell us a little bit about that, Cliff.
Well, I appreciate you, brother. Like you said, we both went to Point Park back in the day. Dang, 2008. Jeez, that's 17 years, right? Um, yeah, man. Oh, you said say something about the authorship.
Yeah, tell us a little bit
I was
about
talking about how
that
we
journey.
met. Yeah, 17 years ago. Wow, your time is really moving. Um, oh yeah, man. Graduated from college, and did the regular thing. Went to work. But in the meantime, was just grinding, making sure I took note of everything that was happening in life, and been building, bro. Been building. Thanks for having me on. It went silent.
My mic was off.
Okay.
So yeah, absolutely. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to come onto the platform and share with the people what you've been doing, what you've been brewing. Because man, this is what Community Roundtable is all about, man. We got to be uplifting our brothers and our sisters, and you're doing some amazing stuff with your authorship, man. So tell us about these books, man. You got a book that's coming out right now, man. Tell us about this book. Show us the cover, man.
I'm gonna show
Pull it
you the
up.
two that's here now. So we got Less Than a Sack of Weed and Order Over Chaos. Understand? Less Than a Sack of Weed has nothing to do with weed, everything to do with decisions. I don't care if you smoke. I'm from Wilkesburg. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, if you could smoke, that means you can afford a book. The ones going to get you high for a little bit, the ones going to get you high for the rest of your life. And that's just the premise behind the title. Nothing in this is talks anything about weed, everything about decisions and trying to help people make the best of theirs. And this, Order Over Chaos, it is a book about bringing order back to the world. And it's just really artistic. Like, I really love this cover. It makes you think of so many different things. But them are the books that's out right now, and it's in a trilogy series. And yeah, that's what I got for you right now. Something else is in the works, but I'm keeping that like until I'm really ready to just throw it out there.
I can dig it. I can dig it. I appreciate you showing off the books, man. Less than a sack of weed, right? Let's jump into that for a second. You were just saying that one of them, you buy you a sack of weed to get you high for a couple hours. Then you got the book, Less than a sack of weed to get you high for the rest of your life. Dive into that. Help us understand that.
All right. So people's going to smoke. Like, you're going to smoke. That's fine. But you can't say if you smoke that you can't afford something that's actually going to better your life from this moment forward if you apply what's in that book. You smoke your half for just a couple of hours, and that's cool. I hope you're using that time productively and being creative while you're at. But when you read a book, let's say, my bad, you read a book that's less than a sack. So that means you can afford it. If you can afford a sack, you can afford a book. But when you read this, you download somebody's information. You download all the knowledge they have. And now that's imprinted in you. And now you can move differently. Now you see life differently. It helps you grow as a person. that weed, if you're using it right, could make you creative as long as you're using it and being productive. But a lot of times people are just using it to drown out the sorrows. And we want you to like overcome your sorrows and take over yourself, take over life.
That's a dope concept. That's a real dope concept. So what gave you the idea to create that book? And that's your first book, right?
Yeah, that's the first one. That's the first one. Um, it originally started from writing on a blog. I had a blog. It was 25blackandalive.com, which I switched over to cliffgreen.com. And I started that blog because years ago, when I was about 27, one of my coworkers ended up passing. Mitch, he ended up passing for, he was protecting his child. Basically, he jumped in the way of his child getting shot and he ended up passing. And at that moment, I'm like, I have to do something with any knowledge I get, with whatever way I could help to make this world better. So I just started putting everything that I know out. I started writing it and putting it on the blog. And then after years of doing it and being consistent with that, decided to compile what I put on the blog, rewrote a lot of it, and turned it into some books. Some books that really trying to help the world, help the community, and really trying to build. Well, not trying, we are building people's minds, souls, and their hearts.
That's dope, man. That's a dope story right there. Eventually, we'll probably be seeing some advertisements on social media or whatever for a movie that's coming out called Less Than a Sack of Weed. Maybe it might come out of a Tyler Perry Studios or something like that. I don't know, right?
Hey, you never know, man. It could be on the works.
Facts, absolutely. Right. So the idea on the second book, Control Chaos.
Order over chaos.
Excuse me, Order over Chaos. Apologies. Order of Chaos.
How the cover, I was really like, I'm gonna do something completely different. Actually, this was supposed to be the back cover, but I have a close boy, my man's, and he was like, "Nah, that should be the front." It's like, oh yeah, that's hard. But to a lot of different people, they see different things. To me, this is order. When you go to straight and narrow order, you're prosperous. That's the over sign, and this is chaos. When you're living chaotic, everything's going this way, that way. Your life's in shambles. You don't know if you're going this way. You're speeding that way. But we want to bring order back to your life. We want you to see clearly, think clearly, so you can navigate this life and conquer it at the same time.
Absolutely. When I see the cover, I definitely see order over chaos. But what I was looking at was the line in the middle and learning how to tightrope that one.
Ah,
Balance.
see, but that's the crazy thing about art. I've got different meanings, and everybody puts another piece to the puzzle. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's hard. That's hard. Like, yeah, just like everybody makes it better. Because you making me look at it like, oh wow.
But that's the thing about life, man, is that sweet spot in life that everybody's really trying to get to. And they might not even call it this. They might not even call it balance, but everybody's really focused on getting to balance, equilibrium. So when I see that image, that's kind of how it speaks to me. But what are some of the challenges that you faced along the way, along this author journey?
Mm. The internet one to crap out on you when you're in the middle of going in. Like, I'm going in, and why is the internet just all of a sudden going down? Like, come on. That's annoying. That could be on bad service. I ain't gonna say my provider's name because they ain't getting no free promo. But yeah, but sometimes it's like, yo, why is it going down when I'm in the middle, like I'm in the groove? And that's on the little technical side. But writing, just staying true to it, staying consistent to it. Like that was the challenge. Like really staying consistent and making sure that I wrote something all the time. And when I was doing it on the blog, making sure that I stayed to that every Wednesday. Every Wednesday, I made sure I put something out, and it was the consistency thing. Now that's a challenge because you're challenging yourself to do something that you may not have done before, and that was a challenge. And but I stuck with it, and we see these books that I have here today. So stuff doesn't just happen overnight for everybody. Like it might look like it, like, oh, he dropped that, and that's hard. But for real, most people that's dropping things, they've been going at it for a minute, and you don't really see the back work that's been going in with
That's a fact, man. You know, I really
it.
appreciate you giving that measure right there because consistency is so important. So important. You know, we build when we're consistent with $50 in the bank account every couple of weeks, we build in compound interest, right? And then if we do the same thing with writing or with basketball practice or whatever it might be, that consistency builds compound momentum, you know. So that's very powerful that that you got those downloads, you know, you got those reveals from doing something that your heart was in, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that I tell brothers all the time, like, listen, you know, you can go ahead and put a whole lot of energy into your job, do what you got to do, get your bill, you know, make sure your bills is paid, but you got to put some energy into something that's just for you, right? Those books that you wrote, they are for everybody, right? But
Mm-hmm.
they were for you. And there's certain dopamine hits that come with creating, you know, just for you. Something that you just creating something, you just pulling something out of yourself at you,
Yeah.
you know,
Yep.
different dopamine hits with that.
Yep. I can 100%. Yeah, when you're creating like, and you're just like, oh, and then more downloads come and it keep getting better. You're like, ooh, like you don't even want to stop. It just keep coming. Yeah, you're right. Definitely dopamine hits when you're creating. And that's really where we all should be, like just in a state of creativity all the time. That's how you really be the most joyous in life. When you're creating, yeah, and your heart's in it. Mm-hmm.
Yo, so check this out, everybody out there who's tuned in and listening to Community Roundtable, episode 17, Cliff Green's journey. Please understand, man, I went to college with this guy like 16 years ago. Okay. And I want everybody out there to understand that he looks exactly the same today as he did then in 2008.
I wish, but man, I appreciate that, brother. I really appreciate you, man. I'm trying to stay on the health journey as well. Now, that's what the writing's about too, trying to make sure we all stay on the health journey. That's why the books are for everybody. Because like every kid, no matter what your nationality is, you remember in college I had the acne. So as I spoke about in the book, the acne went away when I learned how to detox. But in the book, the chapter's called Blessings Disguised as a Curse, because I thought it was a curse at the time. Like I was seeing it as a curse, but then I was learning about myself and learning about real ways of life. And only way to heal yourself is through nature. Nature, detoxing and taking care of your body the way that nature wants you to. And that's a story for everybody. That's not just for, even though it say principles for the hood. What kid can't learn from that? What kid can't learn? Oh, if I detox, this acne gonna go away. Bang, everybody. So there's stories in here that's really meant for every single body. Anybody can learn from it. And yeah, that's what we're doing. Building ourselves, building people around us, making sure people get this knowledge and making sure that it never disappears. Because with anybody else too, because Ferg got books too. When you write, you're leaving something that's gonna last forever. And you're leaving legacy. So that's a message for anybody. Write something, put it in a journal. Maybe you won't turn it into a book, but that journal will always be there. So that's a message for everybody. Make sure you're journaling because writers rule the world. You might not think that writers rule the world, but whatever you're doing, if you're watching TV, there was a writer to that show. That is writers behind every single thing that's happening in life.
So peep this, right? I used to teach this on a regular basis, and I would throw this out there to the quote unquote students in my classes. I'd be like, yeah, help me with the last thing you just said.
Writers or Everything in life is controlled by writers.
All right, I'm back now. So I, I, I would ask them to wake everybody up in the class. I'd be like, hey, so who knows the future, right? Who's the group of people on the planet who know the future, right? If you could just choose one group of people, who are the ones who know the future, right? And you know, sometimes people will give an answer, sometimes they won't, but usually they're always, you know, off on what the answer is that I'm about to give. And I always tell them, I'm like, it's the writers. The reason why they know the future is because they're writing the future.
Yep. Yep.
That's a real. It's like when
That
you
is not. It's really that simple. Yep.
how society and socioeconomics and everything works. It's people writing documents. It's people writing laws. It's people writing books. It's people writing curriculum. It's people writing sermons.
Nah, that's exactly it. That's 100% it. Writing, like even let's say you work a job. Now, if your job has a website, go and see if it has a mission statement and a vision statement. They'll both be written. You're always following something that was written, and that's why you should write as well. Plan your life so that you can follow your own story. If you don't, somebody else is writing it for you.
That's big facts right there. You know, that's super big facts. You know, you could stand for something or you could fall for anything, right? And that's actual reality. It's not even just like a saying, you know. So it's powerful that you just said that. Well, you know, Cliff, I ain't gonna hold you, man. You know, I appreciate you, you know, giving a rundown of control over chaos. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm trying to use control.
Not because control and order though, because you have to
Order.
control yourself in order to have order. So
Shout out to Order of
control your
Chaos.
emotions. You gotta control, yeah.
Shout out to
Control
Order of
your head.
Chaos. Shout out to less than a sack of weed. Right, my man's is doing his thing, working on his third book out of Pittsburgh. It's beautiful out there. We used to be out there on the point. You know, the Pirates. You got the Steelers. You know, neither of these is my team, but however, when I was there, give them much love. You know, much love to the Pirates. Much and I wish the O was still open, bro. Like I don't really eat
Wow.
fries and stuff like that no
A
more. But if I
city
was up
classic
there, bro, I would
gone.
give me a small jank of fries, right? But you know that a small jank of fries is like the super extra large
Yeah.
everywhere else.
Yeah, it's a city classic gone, but man,
Yeah,
the days.
I miss playing basketball at the Wilkinsburg Boys and Girls Club, and there was this park. Man, I don't even remember what the name of the park is, but it's not far from Homewood.
Okay.
Mellon.
Melon Park? Yeah.
Mellon. I used to play basketball at Mellon Park too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I missed that. Yeah, those were some good runs. There's some ball players that used to show up out there.
Yep. Yeah, Melon was it.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, man,
Gotcha.
I'm gonna go ahead and let you go, man. Thank you so much for you know, everything you're doing. Thank you for coming up here and giving your measure on the books, you know. And once the next one comes out, man, we got to come up here and do this again. You
Oh,
got any
definitely.
closing words for?
What's up? I said for sure we definitely got to do this again. Next one should be dropping soon. I'm working on it, and that's the thing. Trying to make sure I stay consistent, but you got to stick with it. Make sure you stay consistent. I'm gonna fall, you're gonna fall, but what are you gonna do? Make sure you get back up and keep going at it. The thing that you wanna achieve, and it's gonna happen. Write it out.
Straight like that. Please understand that it's that simple. One of the things that I teach on a regular basis is a 4-step process to achieving your dreams: goal, brainstorm, plan, implement. Understand that this is a very simple plan. However, it is challenging to carry it out. You know, so we gotta stay on it. You know, you write your goals out as if they have already been achieved. Then you brainstorm in meditation and you write down what you see. And then you take what you've written in this brainstorm and you put benchmark dates and you restructure it and put it into play, now you got a plan, right? And then all you got to do at that point is implement the plan and make sure that you're meeting the benchmark dates and times. And now what you've got is success, right? And this is what my man has been doing up there in Pittsburgh. We're very proud of Cliff. Hey, listen, you keep doing your thing, big homie. Hey, everybody out there, thank y'all for coming through for a community roundtable. We just took a little ride down Cliff's journey. All right, y'all take care. Be blessed.